always forget to do this. So we continue with the sketch. Yeah, some presents are long, some presents small. Making different. This is important. Yeah, more important. Yeah, and then here in front, also depending how much space you have, then you can make your rabbits accordingly bigger or smaller. Yes. Here also I draw the rabbits from behind. Yeah, and this is kind of a trick, but then I don't worry about his eyes and nose, and it's kind of more. Yeah, and also maybe one rabbit can be a bit bigger, maybe one smaller. Yeah, well, I got the same ones, but here. Yeah, so for example, all the toys, yeah, we don't have to plan them now, because first we're gonna color all green, yes, and then put the toys. But for example, where the snowman, yes, I want to show that he's kind of maybe holding or putting one toy on a tree, so then I've planned one circle. Yeah. And yes, and then we have a star. I also had an idea that the bird is kind of bringing this star on the top. So maybe, yes, we can put it just a little bit higher than the top of the tree. Yeah, so just kind of creating the feeling that it's being put on by the bird. Yeah. Yes, and the bird very just some strokes. Yeah, so also nothing specific, just more the silhouette. Yeah, and then maybe another bird. And here maybe holding another toy. Yeah? Yes. Yes, as I mentioned, feel free to add. Let's see whom else maybe could be there. Something Christmassy. Yeah, well, it's kind of outside. Yeah, could be maybe some squirrel if you like. Yeah, maybe instead of rabbit. Okay. Yeah, but I also have this free space. Later we're gonna put also a little bit of shadow. Yeah, the shadow also gives kind of nice feeling for. Yeah, and you see my tree is very, very lightly. Yes, when I go with paints, yeah, and then I do the rest. Yes, as usually, for you, Isabella, the rest know. If I rush, if I go too quickly, yes, feel free to stop. Feel free, tell me to give more time. Yeah, this sometimes happens, you know. Yes, and yeah, also when you're ready with the sketch, you can give me a thumbs up, yeah, or let me know. Yeah. Yeah, Juliet, Ellie, how it looks.
I just need to fix up the bunnies to make them smaller, but Ellie is not done with the Christmas tree.
All right, thank you. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah, take your time.
I'm ready.
All right, very good, Roma. Yeah, so you can start.
I'm ready.
Oh, the girls also ready. Very nice. Yeah. Yeah, Isabella, take your time. Yeah. So for those who are ready, you can start slowly preparing the paints, and we will be starting with the blue and white. Yeah, so we will for the background. Yeah. Yes. Yes, and I suggest you mix. Yeah, so the blue you have, I suggest you mix it with white because still it's better to have it more lighter. Yeah, we're gonna. Yeah, can we move to the paints, Isabella?
I'm just trying to do the legs of the reindeer. I'm just still struggling.
I see. Yes, well, yeah, so maybe let's try together. So from the scarf, I just go this one curvy line, yeah, and kind of like maybe making them thin, yeah. So it's, and then in the end, I put a little bit kind of something, yeah. So that's why I was telling, I was putting this scarf, so kind of also a bit covering, yeah. And then maybe I don't have to worry a lot about these details. That, yeah, that's kind of tricks that when we don't know how to paint something, the best way is just kind of hiding, avoiding. Yeah, it's always better not painted than painted. Yeah, with practice you get it. All right, I'll put a sketch here next to it. Yeah. So I'll go just kind of one step. Yeah, then you can also see and follow. So I'm taking some blue. Yes. So it depends what kind of blue you have. Yeah, but as I've mentioned, I always suggest mixing it with white to have it a bit more, yeah, to have it lighter. Yeah, so I have my postcard and I have it, yes, with the tape. So for the borders, it's not a must. Yeah, some people also like without borders. Yeah, girls, you've also been experimenting. So what I do, I put blue and I put it everywhere. Yes, even where I have the birds, yes. So maybe I can go just a little bit, yes, outside the birds, maybe not to forget where they are. Yes, but because acrylics or gouache, it's the paints that are easy, yes, covered over. Yeah, and then I also kind of, so I avoid the Christmas tree, but not too much, because exactly later I will also, yeah, go on top with this, with the green. Yeah, so if I put my blue, light blue, it will be no problem going that top. Yeah. So here maybe I skip somewhere where the bird is, but yeah, I'm preparing all this background. Yeah, and I'm going down till the back of the deer. Yeah. And yeah, so also where the antlers of the deer, then I also kind of just color it. Yeah, later it's dry, I put this dark brown and it will be no problem. So where the star, for example, I can try and leave the paper clean. Yes, it's because the yellow, it always looks more shinier, yeah, when it's put pure. Yes, because then if I put yellow on top of blue, it sometimes I can see a bit dirty. Yeah, but if you put enough kind of a thick layer of yellow, then it might also work. And what I also try to do my movements just in one direction, vertical. Yes, it will have this some strokes left, and but it's good because it's in direction of the snow falling down. Yeah, so here. And what I also do, I will also put some blue, but much lighter blue here under, yes, under at the bottom, under the animals. But either just what you have the leftovers on your brush, yes, mixed with white, or also mixed with much more water. Yeah, it should be much lighter, because later we will be putting also some shadow there. And yes, and I want, so it should look kind of like white snow. Yeah, but we don't want to leave the white paper. Yes, because anyway, snow is not, when you paint it, it always has some other color, and it's because it also has reflections. Yeah, so if there is no objects, it will have reflection from the sky. Yeah, and if there is some other objects. And so I'm leaving snowman, I'm leaving white. Yeah, and the rabbits as well. Yeah, later we're gonna put a little bit maybe light gray. Yes, and here under the deer, under his legs. Also, and I'm not very accurate. Yes, because I know, okay, the deer is brown, will be no problem, put brown on top, yeah, of this light blue. Yeah, so it's kind of also planning the work. Yeah, so that's my background. Yeah, and we'll let it dry. Yes. And, so the next we can do the Christmas tree. So next color will be green. Yeah, but I'm waiting. Yeah, no worries, take time. Yeah, so yeah, and the sky is also, of course, it's light blue. Yes, but not very light, because then you see the snowflakes. Yes, they look much more interesting when the background is a bit darker. Yeah, because of course, if I put snowflakes here on the bottom, they will be not so visible. Yes, and not so much contrast. Yes. With the I'll explain, yeah, before. So with the greens, depends. If you have two greens, yeah, that's good. Then you can choose lighter and darker green. If you have just let's say one green, you can lighten up one green, maybe either with yellow. Yeah, yellow is the best option, but then it becomes kind of warm. Yeah, you can of course also lighten up with white, but then it becomes just more pale. Yeah. But what's the point? That's that we want to use two greens. Yes, we were gonna start with light green and cover just all the tree with one light green. And then later when we will put the toys and the lights, yeah, we're also gonna do some dark green touch-ups. Yes, and this dark green helps us to get this effect of shadows, yeah, and the shape. Yeah, so then the tree doesn't look so flat. Yes. So depending, yeah, take a look what greens you have. But the point is to have two types, light green and dark one. Yes, and now we're gonna use just light one. Yes, so dark one you can leave maybe for a bit later. And sometimes it also works making just a bit watery. Yes, if you have just one green, you can make it a bit watery for the first one, and the second just put with dry brush. Yeah, less water, and then the color will look more intense. Yeah, so many ways. Yeah. I will.
Are we doing the ornaments after the tree has dried?
Exactly. So now we're gonna put light green all the tree, and then on top we put the toys. Yes. So I'm not leaving extra space or putting now and then going around. Yeah, I'm just gonna put. Yeah, that's why it's also light green. It's good because then on top, yeah, you can put also other color, because when it's dry, it's so. Yes, and here I'm going also kind of on top of my blue background. Yes, not necessarily also do these curvy things at once. Maybe first you want to just go around the tree, kind of cover it, get the whole kind of shape. Yeah, and I'm kind of making these ends fluffy. Yeah, so They not necessarily have to be perfect. Yes, then I remember my deer, so I go around the deer. But of course, if you kind of forget and go over where the deer is, it's also no problem. Yes, with the brown. So I prepared again. It's kind of base layer for the tree. Yes, maybe also here behind snowman. Maybe. Yes, and then again, we let this green dry. Yes, and while it's drying, we can move. Let's say we can move to the deer and snowman. Yeah, and maybe also presents. Yeah, and then we go for the star and birds. Yeah, so we leave maybe a bit more time for blue sky to dry. Yeah, to be sure. And for now, we go for the deer. A deer, of course, with brown. Yeah, it's easy. Yes, you can also play a little bit. Maybe the head can be a bit lighter. Yes, so then later you can put a dark eye. Yeah, some black spot for the eye. Yes, and then the body maybe can be. Yeah, the legs can be darker. Yeah, you can also choose a color for your scarf. Doesn't have to be red. Maybe you want it to be another color. The dark antlers, also you can see if you feel comfortable painting with a small brush. Yes, if you have a tiny brush, and yeah, you can go. If you're not, you can always use marker, yeah, or black pencil. It's also fine. Yeah, there is no rule that you can't. Yes, yes, I have prepared here the deer. Yeah, with the snowman and the rabbits, it's a bit tricky because of course they are white. Yes, but we still need to do something. Yes, with them. So what we need to do, we need kind of prepare gray color, light gray. So you just take a tiny drop of black. So, yeah, I take. Yeah, you can even mix, for example, if you have these light blue leftovers on the palette, you can use also, yeah, this light blue mixed. So just so when I paint white objects, then I paint kind of shadow. Yes. So maybe here from the side. Yes, I can add. So I'm adding kind of this gray line, and then I wash my brush, and with kind of less paint and watery brush, I blend it. I blend this gray line. Yes, so then I show it kind of it's circular. Yes. Yeah, so maybe I could put also gray where there is connection between these the balls. Yeah. Mm. Yes, it's similar for the rabbits. So maybe just some parts or some lines. Yeah, this may be not so. Can be a bit tricky. Yeah, but if the rest is. Yeah, if the rest has colors, and then we put also shadow. With shadow, everything always becomes very. It has the shape. Mm-hmm. All right. Mm-hmm. Yes, and then of course, snowman. If we put the head, and then his nose and eyes, yeah, then it also helps us to form his shape, yeah. Although he's kind of white. When we put the scarf, and in general, when you always paint some clothes, it's kind of on purpose. You have to make it a bit outside. It's like putting on, yes. So, I mean, that's also the way the clothes go. But in painting, you have to kind of, yeah, put a bit more effort in it and make it a bit wider than, let's say, the body is. Yeah. Yeah, like this, then clothes will always look more real. Yeah. Right, without antlers, my deer looks weird. Yeah, let's see if I can create. Yeah. And then also eye, and then I can make. Yeah, I make just kind of spot. Yeah, so I use a small brush. But as I said, if you feel maybe you're scared, yeah, or for example, here I put the line of mouth for deer and becomes too fat, the line. Then of course quickly clean it up with water. Yes, and I can also then correct maybe with some brown. Mm-hmm. Yes, let's put also eyes for. Yes, I'm also kind of jumping in the painting. Yes, I do a detail there, a detail there. It depends. In general, it's always good to paint all together. Yes. But sometimes we tend also to stick to the details. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, you paint some details, then you stop and do some maybe general part. Yeah, so for example, if your gray became too light, you can add maybe extra line, yeah, or Yeah, the rabbits I draw just kind of a gray outline. I put for them. Yes.
Can I draw the rabbits on with pencil when it's dry?
Yes, yes, girls. Yes, okay. Of course, you can experiment, yeah, with the other materials you might have. And
I can show.
wow, Roma, you're ready. Yes, of course.
No, 50% is ready.
50. Okay, okay. Yes, you want to show to check. Yeah.
Yes.
All right, let's see, let's see. All right, I see the deer, birds. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, when you put the snowflakes, then it will be magic.
No. Не могу.
No, you don't. Why you can't put?
I paint with acrylic.
Yeah, but acrylic also works. So
No. No.
yes, 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 yes. You just wait till it's dry and then enough amount, yeah? Like, yes, yeah, I should try. I'm very sure that acrylics work very nice putting snowflakes. Да, кисточкой и так достаточно краски. И точно получится. So, try to do mine. All right, I have experimented with my antlers. Yes, for example, where the head of the snowman. Yes, it can be a bit similar as the snowflakes. You just sit enough amount of white paint. Yes. So that's even you can feel a texture. Yes, let's say. And then I can cover the head. Yeah, so I can even see the paint. Yeah, it's a mounted sitting on top. All right, right. Let's take yellow. Start with some colorful stuff. Yes. Yes, again for the star, I take enough amount. Yeah, I take my brushes dry and I put a thick amount of paint of yellow. Yes, then my star feels kind of even shapy. Yeah, and so it's intense. Yeah, and then even if I have some blue there, my yellow covers the blue. Yeah, so first it covers because it's dry, and second because I have enough amount of paint on my brush. Okay, I got a little bit not very straight, but okay. Let's see if as if the bird is bringing it. Yeah. Okay, I'll put since I have yellow on my brush, I will put yellow on some present. Yes. Yeah. Put some red present. Yes, yes, Roma. So I insist that you try acrylics, yeah, to put the snowflakes, because I'm sure it is working, and the snowflakes will make it all look magical. Mm. Yeah, so the presents I'm doing just kind of squares. Yeah, so I choose maybe different colors. Mm. Yes, and then again, so I paint the squares, I wait till they are dry, and then I put this yellow, yeah, this part, this kind of yellow rope, yeah, on top. But the trick is always wait till it's dry. And the trick to wait is just move to another part of painting. Because it's normal, yeah, you can't just kind of sit and wait. Yeah, of course it's boring. So you just leave it, move. Yeah, let's go to birds, or let's go to the tree itself. Yeah, all these colorful parts in it. And then you come back, then it's easy to put. Yeah, but if you don't wait, then it's just hard to put it on. So what I do also with birds, yeah, we don't. So what I do, I just put, and this time I put the opposite. I put a bit, just one brown dark color, a little bit kind of shape of head, and flying wings, yeah. And then again, I will wait till it's dry, and then put a little bit some lighter. And then I'll put a bit some lighter tone on it, yeah. So then the bird's not too boring, yeah. What you have to think with the bird is the proportions of wings and body and the head, yeah. So not to make it maybe too. What happens often is the wings are small, so you can also kind of a bit overdo with wings, make the wings a bit bigger. Yeah, it will look always better than when the wings are small. Yes. All right, now we're getting close to the fun part of decorating the tree. Yes, you can also choose. Yeah, I have mainly just the colorful balls. Yeah, but here I had something like a candy for the deer. Yes. Maybe, I don't know, either he wants to take it or maybe he's the one who brought it. Yes, I've put one candy. So, yeah, maybe also it's like also decorating the real tree. It's usually you put these lights, and then you put all the balls and yeah. So I will take light. I will make my brush kind of wet. So I take thin brush, put it in brown, and make it really wet. Like this, it's easy to make a thin line. And I'm kind of creating this curvy, oops, not that bit, oops. So these curvy lines, where later I will put the lights on. Yes, then I will put Yeah, something like this. And by putting lights, now the opposite. I want my brush to be more dry. Yeah, so I use also napkin sometimes, yeah, to just dry my brush. Because then I want the paint not to be so fluid, not to be so transparent, but the opposite. Yeah, it sits firmly. And then kind of under this lines, yeah. And then I'll do red and yellow lights. Yeah, so then I put red somewhere and somewhere I leave the space and I will put yellow in between. Yeah. Yes, later I'll also tell you the secret how you make the balls, yeah, these toys, then they look shiny. Yes. So for example, you see this, the one that I painted here red on top with the bird. Yeah, it looks just a red circle. It's not, there's yeah, but if you put a highlight, yeah, this is, you can when you, if you observe, yeah, the real tree, the real stuff, they always have this highlight, yeah, where the light reflects. And if you show it on your drawing, it will at once make it also feel, yeah, the real. Yeah. So again, with the dry brush and enough amount of paint and setting the light, the yellow lights. Yeah. Yeah, so I can even feel this texture, yeah, of this yellow that I'm putting on. Oh, and now since I have yellow on my brush, I can do the yes, this part on the present. Yes, now it's already dry, and I can. Okay. When I want to draw thin lines, it's always helpful to have brush more water. Yeah. All right. Yes. Yes. And now the for putting the toys. Yes, you already know. So when you want to cover, then you use dry brush and thick paint. Yes. What I do, I'm just setting a circle. And then I can mix maybe orange color. Yes, if you have it, you can use directly. If not, then yes, it's red and yellow together. Yes. Yes, maybe also blue. Yeah, I can play also with different size. Yeah, some can be. Oh yes, and we also don't forget this darker green, yeah, that I was mentioning earlier. Yes, that's to avoid that our tree looks flat. Yes. So then I take again thin brush, a bit more watery, and I will create all these movements. But where I do them, yes, I kind of think about that this dark comes under the, under the branches. Yeah, and maybe with this dark green, I can put also accents on this curvy part a bit. Yeah, and somewhere this dark part can be a bit more bigger. Yes, maybe the shadow there is bigger. It's okay, maybe here's one part I did too much. And that's, we can also correct. It's not happens. Yes, also at the bottom, the tree in general is always a bit darker. Yeah, so at the bottom you can be more brave with yes, and for example, how I correct where I did too much green, then I just put lighter green. I mix green with white. Yeah, and here was my error of being impatient to correct the error. Yes, that's also very typical because, of course, when we did something wrong on painting, of course, we want to correct it as soon as possible. Yeah? And there are two types. Sometimes it's corrected exactly with when you're quick. Yes, and then with the water, you can quickly take off the paint and correct. And sometimes it's exactly waiting till it's dry. Yes, and then all right. So we also don't forget this important part of the highlight, also the shadows of animals. Yeah, all these details. That's what in the end makes the this kind of. So on these toys of the tree, I put a little white spot here on top where the bird is. Yeah, here where the snowman. It's just one. Yeah, it can be square, can be a bit longer. Yeah, and I put it, and then at once the toy begins kind of to shine. Yeah, that's because it's round. Yeah, it has shape, and that's what usually always happens with them. Yeah, even on the star we can also make some lighter lines. Yeah, and then it kind of shines. And yeah, so I don't know how you, yeah, hope you guys, which point you are, but I'm just trying kind of to mention, yeah, quickly these important parts. So, because I know Roma is quick, he's already, yeah, maybe, yeah, but we just, you know, about all these parts to do. Yeah. So also the shadow of animals, yeah, on the ground, that's also what makes them, right? I tried to put some white spots on birds, yeah, to make them also a bit more interesting. And so animal shadows, or in general, painting shadows, yeah, it's also kind of, we have imaginary drawing. Yeah, if you paint and you have some object in front of you, then of course you see the shadow, you see where it's falling, how big it is, and you can, yeah. But this time we're imagining. So the most important rule is to have them the same direction. Yes. So it's not that, yeah, the shadow from the deer goes one way and the shadow from snowman goes another way. Yeah. So if they all go to the right side, then all go to the right side. Yeah. And here were the legs of the deer. So I take darker blue. Yes, it's a little bit maybe the same like this upper blue or a bit lighter. Yes, so it's also a little bit like from the chair. When you have a chair and it also has this shadow. Yeah? And then, so I put just like these two strokes from the deer legs. And then somewhere there I make like the bigger part of shadow connect. So maybe it's just shadow already from the body. And then the bit same direction, I do just some shapy shadow from rabbits. Yeah. See how it looks, if the shadow needs to be a bit darker or not. Yes, then the same also from snowman. And we will have also shadow from the tree. Yes, like this, it's also will make our ground look lighter. Yes, then we will have more feeling of snow. Yeah, even if we painted it light blue previously. Yes, putting darker shadow. Yes, maybe I can also put on top of the snowman also a bit of something blue, yeah, a bit bluish. What's another important rule about the shadow? That it's always darker closer to the object. Yeah, so where the shadow is touching the object, where the shadow is touching the rabbit, it's darker, and then it goes lighter when it goes far away. Yeah. Yes, also, for example, for the deer, where the shadow is touching the legs of the deer, it's darker. And the more far away it is from the object, from the legs of deer, yeah, then it becomes lighter. Yeah, also under the snowman, you can even put, yeah, the darker line. And then you just blend out, yeah, the rest. Yeah, also no worries if it doesn't, yeah, it's all practice. Painting shadows comes, yeah, you all with time, and the more you see the objects, yeah, the more you experiment, the more you already know, yeah, how it works. for example, I can do also touch up for the deer legs. Yeah, if for example they become too light, then they're on the, yeah, just few touch up on the bottom of the legs. Yeah, and then it feels that his legs are kind of standing, yeah, and not too thin, flying somewhere in the air. Yeah, maybe you can make some accent on the nose of the deer. Yeah. Yes, and after that, the most fun part is putting snowflakes. Huh? Is anyone already putting snowflakes? Anyone already that far? Yes, and once you start with snowflakes, believe me, it will make all much more exciting. What I do with the snowflakes is just I take small brush and I just put vertically. Yes. And then again, I make them different. One very tiny, one a bit more big. Yes, so not all the same size. And some flakes I can make really big. Yes, and it gets the feeling that they're very close to us. And then some small in between. Yeah, and I put a lot of them. It's very snowy day. And don't be afraid to put also snowflakes on top of the objects, on top of the birds. Yes, on top of the deer. Yes, on top of the tree also. It's snowy. Yes, and again, I have dry brush. Yeah, and I'm just going directly to the white paint. Yes, because if I make it too watery, yeah, then I will have either to repeat, yeah, and put color again on the same spot, because then it will become transparent. Yeah, of course, where the snowman and rabbits can't really see much, but yeah, and again, don't be afraid to put snowflakes on top of birds and deer. Yeah, kind of. Don't avoid them. Very nice. Yeah, and you can make very snowy days. Very nice. If you have questions, please feel free. You can unmute and ask. Yes, there is time, and yes, if you struggle with anything. I lost one. Yeah, so once again, so what makes the painting this postcard, it's when you put the Christmas decoration, when you put the balls, yes, putting this little white spot of highlight. Yes, this is a little secret to make it feel shiny. Then also, yes, this green, and we have double green, so we don't have only one green, but we also go with this. Yeah, so maybe if it's needed, can work on it a bit more. Now when it's dry, maybe some places where you want to add a bit more. Yeah, it's like a shadow. It's shadow under the branches of the tree. Yes. Then also the shadows. Yeah, the shadows on the snow. That's another part that helps us to.
I think I just need to wait for mine to dry, and then I can add the rabbits.
Yay! Whoa, that's so sweet. Love it. Such a beautiful snow. Oh, such an awesome Christmas card. Yeah, we also wait till it's dry, and then we see how you say if you want to do this oval inside. Yes, I have planned this for when you open the card. There is also Christmas oval. Yeah, so yeah, but of course first we finish the main part. And then we see how you tell me if you want to do it or not. Yes. And sometimes one comes back. Yes, for example, it's like it calls like retouching. Yeah, so for example, maybe the shadow, maybe somewhere it became too light, and now I retouch exactly just the parts where it touches the object. Yes. Yes, and then at once my objects become visible. Yes. Yes, of course, for example, this is kind of childish yes, drawing. But of course, but even if you do some serious adult, it's all the same rules, yeah, about the shadow, about the highlights. Yes, these are some of main rules of drawing, painting. And then once you know, you apply it, yes, everywhere you draw and paint. Oh, it's something like that. Probably Roma was texting. Okay, Roma. Yes, and happy holidays to everyone. Yeah, Jolene. Happy holidays, of course. Yes, it's this nice time of the year. I will do the most enjoyable part of each drawing is taking the tape off. Yes, taking the tape off slowly, very slowly. That's also the key of not ruining the paper. Yes, even to me it happens sometimes. Yeah, you're in a rush. Yeah, and I kind of take the paper quickly and it ruins the. Yeah. So to avoid it, so the trick I showed you in the start, when you kind of glue the tape first to the table and then to the paper, and now it's also taking it very slowly off. Yeah, then my paper is safe, and then I get this nice white frame. Of course, it also depends on the quality of paper. Yeah, I would say that's also even, of course, if you use thin paper, yeah, and then it's easy, it gets damaged easily. I like to paint starting, yeah, so it's 200 gram, or it's also 110 lb, yeah, so that's what is written when you buy the paper album. That's what you have written on it. Yes, and of course, the thicker it is, of course, it's more expensive, but there you can find like good balance. Yeah, not too cheap, not too expensive. So if, yeah, with of course thicker paper, it's more enjoyable to paint. Yeah, it doesn't get so affected by water. Yeah, yeah, because sometimes you paint and then all the paper becomes so curvy. Yeah, and then it's hard to work. Mm-hmm. Yes, and then you remember the rules. So I think it's also the golden rule. If you paint and then you feel you start ruining it, hey, you see, okay, it doesn't go the way you want or expect. The first thing, you just stop. Yeah, you stop moving your brush inside this part, and that's what, of course, yeah, we tend to do because we want to correct. Yeah, but the best part is just let it dry. Yeah, leave it, let it dry, then come back, and then it's much easier to correct. Yes. So sometimes I also kind of hold myself by hand, say, no, stop.
I finished, except I'm gonna do the shadows later.
All right, yes, no problem, let it dry, and then Yeah, the shadows, but you see, yeah, the shadows looks, oh, lovely. Yes, yes. Love the snowflakes. Love how you brave with the, yeah, very snowy day. Yay.
Also, I might do the lights after also doing the reindeer's antlers.
All right, agree, agree. Yeah. Girls, what about, I don't know if you want to paint more or not. What about this oval inside the car? Do you want to do this?
I think we have to leave.
Ah, you have to go. You're already dressed. Yes, then you go. We can. Yeah, that's no problem. Huh? It was just a little thing in case you want. Yeah, I see you're dressed up. Thank you, girls. Go, go. Yeah.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. See you next week. Bye bye.
See you next week. Bye.
Isabella, yeah, you can ask me if you have questions. I'm here. Yeah, so feel free to yeah, I'll stop also recording since